Howdy Tabletop RPG fans, thank you for supporting this channel. I'm Wrangleme, Grand Poobah of Game Design, and this Reviews Day topic is about Vornheim, the Complete City Kit. Vornheim, the Complete City Kit, copyright 2011 by Zach S., and issued under an exclusive license to Lamentations of the Flame Princess Studio. It's a hardcover, 6-inch by 8.5-inch book with the book jacket and 64 pages. To call this a book would be a mistake, which explains why they call it a kit. Inside the book jacket is a map of Vornheim. The front and back covers are charts with clever dice mechanic. There's even useful content on the inside book covers. While it may appear to be a small book, it has an amazing amount of useful content that streamlines rules and allows GMs to run a complex city easily without tons of prep. To quote from the opening,
"Vast is Vornheim, the grey maze. But I am not here to bore you with that. This book is not about Vornheim. It is about running Vornheim, or any other city, in a fantastic medieval setting."
The table of contents is your guide and includes sections about Vornheim background, customs, laws, and superstitions, details of specific parts of the city, including Palace Massive, Eminent Cathedral, House of Medusa, Zoo of Pingfeng, and Library of Zorlak, and over 20 useful tables and diagrams to procedurally generate city adventure content and events. This is the Vornheim, the Complete City Kit by Zach S. and published by Lamentations of the Flame Princess. It's a hardbound book, and it's stuffed full of content. It's 64 pages. Table of contents shows all the parts and pieces and the copyrights, the playtesters. Introduction with a diagram showing the various areas inside one section of the city. The city is built around these giant spires. You'll notice that they look a bit like hands. One is the Palace Massive, and the other is the Eminent Cathedral. These are full diagrams of all their components. Then the magical and mysterious and wicked parts of Vornheim, superstitions. It's a city built with vast amounts of real estate occupied in the lower rungs, and then these spires and towers of things that build up around it. This particular section is called the House of Medusa, and what goes on there. Then the Zoo of Pingfeng, where he houses a number of exotic animals and strange creatures. All the things that you can encounter there. And then the Library of Zorlak, with all the individual rooms inside the library. A list of player commentaries, basically things that have been encountered or accounts of things that they have encountered while they were in Vornheim. A typical tower with all the labels for what the sections of that tower are in any part of the city. Some guides to how the neighborhoods are sort of jumbled together and tossed. The urban crawl rules. Some basic ideas about how to split up parts of the city and delegate different parts of the real estate to different kinds of shops or different kinds of play behavior. Notes on city adventuring, aristocrats, and a list of a table of D100 for all of those kinds of books that you might find, city NPCs, directions, city shopkeepers, encounters, fortunes, I search the body, what you might find on a body, legal situations, magical effects, taverns and games, and the late edition conversions. So conversions of different gaming systems to the way the notes are written in here. While the vast number of pages are typically text and tables with occasional maps and diagrams, very few unique parts of the Vornheim, the complete city kit, stand out. The inside book jacket has the giant city map. The front cover includes a game elements generator that uses a D4 to generate large amounts of information in one roll. The back cover has the combat charts with a 2-hit roll, 3 kinds of weapon damage, and a hit location, all from a single D4 roll. Various maps and location diagrams of the exotic locations of Vornheim or any fantasy city are included throughout the book. Next, we're going to do the special parts of this. And I mentioned in the description of the book that the inside the front cover is this beautiful, highly detailed map of the city of Vornheim. And labeled here is the cathedral and the palace and the arena. But there are also a number of blank neighborhoods for you to make your own. On the insides of the cover are some helpful tips and tricks in case you forgot how to roll on this table. Let's say that I needed to roll a bunch of dice very, very quickly. I could do that, but I could also roll 1d4. I rolled a 1, but it's landed on a 10, it's landed on an 18, it's landed on a 2, and it's landed on a 4. And so I've generated multiple sets of numbers for different generation tables, all from the same die roll. And it has a roll a d20, roll 2d6, roll a d12. There's a number of ways of looking at this in terms of how you count out the thing. And if you follow along with this guide here, it tells you if you're generating an animal, you go down for the AC or up for the AC. And the max damage and hit dice, max damage is on this side, and the hit dice are here. So it's a 1-hit dice, 4 max damage. AC is probably going to be a 2. And you can generate fighters, monsters, thieves, wizards. If you're using it for a location table, an inn will tell you how much your gold pieces are per night, how many beers you get for a gold piece, if you're looking in an apartment or a building and trying to figure out the size of a room, the width is on the top, the length is on the side, and the number of doors is what you rolled on the die. If you're generating a medium-sized room, you add 10 to those values. And if you're generating a tower, the number of stories of the tower is on the right-hand side, and the number of bridges in the tower is on the bottom. So you can see that the premise here of just one set of tables and used in multiple different ways is a very interesting resolution system. On the back, there's a combat chart. So if I roll on this one, I rolled a 2 on the D4, but it's also pointed at 11. That's my resolution hit. If my weapon was a dagger or something that does a d4, I'd take the 2. If it was a d6, I would roll a 4. If it was a d8, I'd roll, looks like a 6. And the weapon hit location was the left shoulder. So I can take this chart and very quickly roll this just one die or multiple dice and get all of the combat numbers for an entire party of encounters against the players. So this is a very interesting way that the system works, is to use these clever dice mechanics and then some amazing tables inside. Overall, I rank this as a product that not only is innovative, extremely innovative, but it's fun to play with, and it would be a pleasure to run Vornheim either as the city itself or as just a way to generate an urban encounter in your own fantasy urban environment. This episode is brought to you by Kaboomkin, the smaller, faster, funnier RPG of cartoon, fairy tale, post-apocalypse mayhem. It's time to blow stuff up. Get it now at www.kaboomkin.com. Thank you all for watching this episode. Hit like, subscribe, or ring the bell, or Booger will get you. If you want to see more videos like this, go to hopspush.com and buy an RPG or t-shirt. Do good, annoy evil, and bye-bye.